Hi, this is seewingyee from the Ulysses Network, and I'm very excited to provide you with once again some outstanding education for real estate investors. And what you see in front of you is a nice graphic chart of the housing cycle market by market. So, as you know, our philosophy here at Yee Real Estate Network is to provide ongoing market analysis to determine what market is the best to pull the trigger. And we've been doing this since 2004, going on 14 years as we head toward 2018. So, for the most part, over the years, I promoted so many properties in different markets throughout the U.S. And of course, we follow some, for the most part, not that I'm perfect, but mistakes do happen from time to time. But oftentimes, I'm able to guide our investors members into the proper market before they reach the cycle which is not prudent to purchase. So this is a very good educational presentation. So really pay attention, and once you watch this video, if you choose to do so, you should watch it again so you can see what's going on with the market. All right, so without further ado, here we are, the housing cycle. Now, it has broken down into phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four, phase five. So I'm gonna give you a high level presentation, and clearly the best. Okay, let me ask you a question. I know I'm not going to get the survey because I did not put out a survey on this particular webinar. But which phase is the best time to buy? What phase? Okay, let me give you the answer. The answer is phase one. The second best answer is phase two, and phase three, phase four, phase five. That's where some challenges may occur. All right, so let's go through phase one. According to this John Burns real estate consulting firm, this is how they analyze the cycle moving forward. Phase one, what we see here is the uh, bottom of the cycle at the bottom, and early recovery. And so what you see is mainly distress capital investment, okay, declining to flat pricing volumes. So phase one, if you look at the bottom of the market back in 2009, right, 2008, 2009, when there's a market crash, that's where savvy investors buy. When you buy when there is a crisis and the cycle is all the way at the bottom, right? You buy low, sell high, right? Or buy low, keep your property forever, never sell. Okay, so that's how you make your money in phase one. Unfortunately, moving to 2018, there are very few phase one markets available because like for example phase one back in 2008 2009 you see in California, in Arizona, in Las Vegas, in Florida, and a few other markets, these trophy markets where there was a lot of foreclosures and you're buying pretty much pennies on a dollar. So investors that purchase in this particular cycle back in 2008 2009, well, you make you really you'll laugh all the way to the bank, right? And you know who you are. I have helped many investors that purchased in those markets back in 2008, 2009, and you guys made a lot of money back in the old days. All right, so the question is, what is there phase one remaining right now, moving to 2018? And the answer is yes. We can look closer on this bottom of the market, early recovery, Chicago, right? Chicago's in the Midwest. Okay, what we're promoting, the early recovery phase one right now is, drill run, please. I mean, drum roll, I'm sorry. Drum roll, please. Is in Detroit, Michigan. Hello. We've been promoting Detroit for a number of months now. So, yep, Detroit, Michigan is my number one best market because They have gone through some tremendous downturn for a number of years. Now they are on an early recovery. So Chicago and Detroit is in this area of phase one, bottom of the market, maybe moving into phase two. So right now is the best time to buy Detroit. We have all cash purchases for 45K, 50, $55,000 single family home in Detroit with some very good rents, very good cash flow in a very good blue collar neighborhood. So that's what's going on in phase one. All right. So there's no too bad right now. If you did not pull the trigger back in 6, 7, 8 years ago, then no more markets under the phase one, except in my opinion, Detroit, Michigan. Okay, so then let's move on to phase two, and this is still a very good time to purchase. The phase two, what you see is big volume market acceleration, right? And what you see is a ripening recovery. It's a recovery market. Okay, and some additional definition associated with phase two is expansion, slowly rising sales and prices, good affordability, low construction, and capital investment rises. So that means you're buying still with good cash flow, good cap rates, very good cash on cash return, very, very good total ROI, right? So the ripening recovery market are in the regions of Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Washington, D.C., San Antonio, Philadelphia suburbs. But you and I know that the numbers has to be right in order. So among some of these areas, I would still pick San Antonio and Indianapolis, but not necessarily the other areas because I do not see any cash flows, right? And big volume, bigger city, big volume market acceleration, Riverside, okay, Las Vegas, Tampa, Phoenix, Orlando, Sacramento, Jacksonville, and Houston. All right. So we have market representation, meaning we have investment properties to sell to our members in Indianapolis right now, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Tampa, Phoenix, Orlando, and Jacksonville and Houston. Okay, we are not entering into Sacramento or in Riverside because the median price of homes there is probably around 350, 400,000, right? And if you factor in the 1% rent to value, right? 1% multiplied by 350, you need a monthly rent of 3,500 in those markets. So you're not going to get 3,500 rent on a 350K homes in Sacramento or in Riverside or in Washington, D.C. either, right? Or in Minneapolis or even in Philadelphia. You're not going to get the return. You're not going to get the cap rate that are above 6%. So, okay, so those are still good areas. I particularly like Tampa, right? Tampa is still, the price is still very low. It's growing very fast and the cash flow is very, very good. And of course, Orlando. Orlando is maybe have one more year to go. And Jacksonville is really coming up. I like Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, here's phase two. So who knows how much longer these markets are continue to be in phase two? Not very long, right? Maybe a couple more years, because before many of these cities in the phase two category will move on to phase three. So phase three. So therefore, I do not necessarily like these markets. There are some neighborhoods that you can still buy with cash flow, but it's getting to be challenging in phase three. And so phase three is we have exuberance, whereby prices and volumes have surged dramatically, whereby the affordability issue has weakened, just like in the Bay Area, right? And there are frenzy consumers, capital growth cautious, right? So what I'm saying is the appreciation in these markets has far exceeded the rental income you can obtain. So if you buy in this overpriced markets here in the phase two cycle, you can have a very negative return, meaning your cash flow just cannot sustain the price that you're going to pay for. So among some of the cities and markets that are under the phase three, which is to me is a risky proposition. I would not recommend, especially mom and pop investors, to enter this market. It's too late. You should have entered these phase three markets on phase one and phase two, right? So I know hindsight is 2020, but that's it's timing the market is important if you're you're too late in the game if you want to buy in these areas, and they are early exuberance: Denver, San Diego, Salt Lake City, and Orange County. Too pricey already. Okay, your returns can be low if you're going to buy the medium price in Orange County is probably 500, 600, 700,000 or even more. San Diego, same thing. Denver, same thing. Right? It's too late. Maturing exuberance. Austin, same thing. Boston, Austin, Dallas, East Bay, the Bay Area, really high prices. Manhattan, New York, Miami, Nashville, Portland, San Francisco, San Jose, with the median price of a single family home in San Francisco is about 1.2 million, 1.3 million, right? It's just outrageous. In San Jose, the median price in 2017 is around 1.1 million for a cookie cutter 60-year-old home, three-bedroom, two bath, like 1,200 square foot, whatever, fixer upper, if you will, for 1.1 million. That's ridiculous. So as a mom and pop investor, I would not enter buy in this phase three market. It's too late. It has bypassed. It's a peak. It's a top of the market, right? Very easy, pretty obvious. Common sense. Obviously, I don't need to go through phase four and phase five. We experienced that back in 2006 and 2007 when there's a market crash. Prior to the crash, those markets, have reached phase four and phase five. You can see the red color. The red color means, alert, red flag, right? Phase four, contraction, early downturn, capital still deploy, sales volume decline, capital questions next steps, and then the worst case scenario. We don't know the future. We don't know whether there will be a phase four and phase five in the future. Nobody have a crystal ball, right? But right now, when I was good, but if you reach phase five, which is the crash, full downturn, recession, right? Sales volume and pricing decline, invested capital loses money, distress attracts new capital. All right, so I think that's a big picture, right? So you don't want to go there. But right now, the economy is doing very well. The unemployment is very low, and there's jobs everywhere. The economy all over the country has been doing well. Construction of new homes have not caught up with the demand, and the population is growing very fast all over the country, right? Everywhere is growing. Very healthy market. So a lot of people are still renting. So the rental market is very, very strong in many areas in the U.S. And so cash flow is very high, vacancy is very, very low, and occupancy rate is very, very high. So this is a great time to be investors moving into 2018. So for those of you who have the financial capacity to do something, please uh, just review this video, review this educational presentation I just did, and then pull the trigger, right? Use your money to buy at the phase one and phase two in particular. Okay, for the most part, phase two. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this very unique presentation. This kind of information you do not get in too many places, but as part of our member of our organization at the Year Lucid Network, you have uh, the benefit of learning from me, who has a very high level of knowledge, not only in real estate but in other financial areas as well, for those of you that know me very well. Okay, thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to working with you. All you have to do is reach out to us, reach out to me, and I'll help you one-on-one to help you execute on your action plan that are consistent with your real estate goals and objectives, and help you to become rich. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much for listening. This is seewingyee, and have a nice day. Thank you so much.